Hello and welcome to London Players Guild. I am your Guild Master Scott Sedman, and today I'm joined by Peter.
Hello guys, I am here. Somehow.
And today we are bringing you the Vicious Rejuvenation Blue Graded. Peter, what is graded for all the people out there who may not know?
Graded is when Scott pulls me away from Cyberpunk, so
true.
we can look at the cards and make our decision on where do we think they fit in game at the moment, how they fit, how they're going to affect the game, etc. It's a discussion video, so be prepared. It's going to be a discussion. We go through every single card in a given color. Today it's blue. And at the end of it, we give our arbitrary grade, which is between F for failing and S for super, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Super.
It would be on brand.
Exactly. So we are looking at what the colors do, how, if they keep, in my case, for example, we look if they keep the color identity and how well or innovative they do that. So blue being something that does a lot with spinning or bouncing cards and energy manipulation, your energy manipulation. So something I'm going to be looking into because blue is my jam.
Yeah,
so green is my biggest jam, but yeah.
I'm here to be like, that's cool, it's on theme. So without further ado, let's get straight into blue, starting with probably the second most anticipated character to come to this game for a long time. The other one being Cumber, obviously. We'll get him eventually. Pikkon, Peter.
Why is it Paikuhan?
It's the Japanese spelling in it. It's the same with Bojack being Boujack. Like, it's not Bojack. Because, it's Pikkon is Pikkon for the English spelling, I think.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's a blue leader. Paikuhan, West Galaxy Warrior is a special trait, which is, I think, the first off.
First one, yeah.
And yeah, it's a simple leader. When this card attacks, you scry 2 cards from the top of your deck. You add up to 1 mono blue card among them to your hand, and then place the remaining cards on top of your deck in any order, so they need to stay on top. Then you choose up to 1 of your Paikuhan cards with cost 3 or less and return it to your owner's hand. You don't need to bounce. The issue I have with this skill is it needs to be a mono blue card, which means you need to confirm with your opponent that you added mono blue card. It's not written on the card, but it's the same way as, for example, Dark Shenron works. When you need to put a specific card to the bottom of your deck, you need to confirm that you're putting the specific card to the bottom of your deck. Although I would not be surprised if they're going to rule it. It's a secret area, so you don't need to confirm anything. So
possibly. But I
you
definitely...
you know where that's going to lead,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So it is probably likely that you will have to show the card.
Yeah, you should need to confirm something like that because it needs to confirm that the card is mono blue, actually. And then when your life is 4 or less, you draw 1 card and untap 1 of your energy to see the other side, which is Paikuhan Penetrating Strike.
I just love his leg. It's just like, her leg's on show.
Oh, yeah, that's a leg. That looks so weird. His leg is high.
What else do you think it would be? Don't say penis. Don't say penis. It's not a penis. Pikkon Penetrating Strike.
I thought it's the part of the background effects.
It's still cool. So what does he do on this awakened side?
When this card attacks, you again scry 2 cards, add mono blue card to your hand and remaining on the top. Then you choose up to 1 of your Paikuhan with cost 3 or less, and up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with cost 3 or less, and return both to hand. There is actually a proc from bouncing cards to hand, so it's more decent than it was. You don't need to bounce your Paikuhan to bounce your opponent's cards, which is nice. Then activate main once per turn. You scry the top 3 cards of your deck and return them in any order to the top of your deck, which is essentially Beyblade, right?
Yeah, I guess.
The Tournament of Power Arena.
Yeah.
You just look at... So we can see where the deck is going. We have seen the mechanics. We've read the card beforehand as they were being spoiled. So it is an interesting mechanic because it is setting up your own deck for triggering your own burst.
Yeah,
and then cool. Having skills based off the burst, and burst is usually 1, which is a very interesting way of using burst, I must say.
Yeah, and our next leader is janemba.
Yeah.
So this little boy is a 10k.
Third leader for janemba?
Yeah. He's a 10k power boy, evil incarnate, of course. Add up to 1 card from life to hand. When this card attacks, choose up to one evil incarnate or demon card with an energy cost of 2 or less in your hand and play it. So no draw.
Well, the draw comes from Self-Awakening, right?
Yeah.
And then on Awakening, he draws 2 cards. We haven't seen this type of a skill in ages.
Yeah.
Where you just flat draw 2.
And what do you make of just being able to play a 2-drop?
The fact that it specifies Evil Incarnate or Demon means that you can play Psyche Demon, for example. Also, the other thing is it doesn't specify mono blue.
No, just a blue evil
So
incarnate.
I would look into the blue-yellow AOD number.
Okay.
You know, the one that could play the Aegis 4-drop number from your deck?
Yeah.
Because now this engine actually can be playable because you don't need to have the blue and yellow. You don't need to spend 2 energy to play that. You can just play it on your first turn when you attack.
Yeah, that's really true. Maybe we'll see Aegis Ember come back. So then we do Awaken, and then you can take this side with his lightsaber.
Yeah, so lightsaber. It's 15,000 power. When it attacks, you draw 1 card. Activate main once per turn. You can pay a blue energy, crit 1 of your lives, and play up to 1 evil incarnate card with energy cost 2 from your energy. So you can play 1 of your blue evil incarnate. This time you can't play a demon.
No.
You still need to pay energy, but usually you're just going to tap that card you want to play, crit a life, and play that card from your energy, right?
Yeah.
I think there was something that let you play skillless a 2-drop. The fact that you need to crit a life, though, you could potentially play Rejuvenate in this deck, because Frieza Cell works both with Paikuhan and Janemba.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I'm not too against that. Those skills where you need to crit your life when you awaken are a bit better now, but the game is still not slow enough to excuse Rejuvenate, really.
Okay, that's fair enough.
The leader just feels weak, and I know a lot of people are looking into playing the Nemba engine in, for example, Zamasu.
Yeah, like I think everyone's just
dual attacks and Zeno and all that stuff.
We'll take the good stuff from this and just get a better leader.
Yeah, because the good stuff from this is not set for a leader.
No,
you're not tied to any leader.
I mean, like again, it's a cool concept for leader. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's cool. Yeah, but I think out of the 3 Janembas we've got, this is probably the weaker one.
Yeah, I think you would be even better off using the crit Nemba from set 5.
Yeah, Miraculous Revival. So next up, we have our first super rare, Frieza and Cell, match made in hell. I love that name so much. A 2 cost.
It's amazing. It's from GT, right?
Yeah, I think so.
When the hell was summoned and you had Super 17 and all that stuff.
And they made that weird cube to imprison Goku in. That was a weird...
Yeah.
That was a weird thing, man. That was a whole thing. That was like... Oh, man, GT is full of that stuff. So we got a 2 specified blue unison here. With Rejuvenate, which is once per turn, remove 4 markers from this card. Place 1 card under this card in the owner's drop area. Pay the skill cost. Place the top card of your deck in your life. Also, once per turn, when a battle card in a battle area, so it's not your battle area, as I keep reading this as your battle area, it's a battle area.
No. I'm going to get it. When a card, not a battle card.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Even still, it doesn't have to be a battle card, is returned to its owner's hand by skill. So energy or...
No, it needs to be battle area, so it's extra card or battle card, because we have field cards that can be in battle area. I'm not sure if we have a way to bounce it yet. And then we have Tree of Might, which is not a field card, but still stays in battle area.
That's true, so you might be able to bounce it. Yeah, okay, fair enough, yeah. So it's kind of future-proofed, right? Like,
yeah.
If there are ways to do it, fair enough. It has to be by skill. Draw 1 card. I don't know how else you would bounce something without a skill, but draw 1 card, then choose it to 1 card in your hand, put it at the bottom of your deck. So more cycling.
On the top or bottom of your deck.
Oh, yeah. Okay, more stacking or more cycling.
You can either stack yourself for Paikuhan, or for example, for Frieza, you can... sorry, not Frieza, for
Baby.
Nemba, you can put the stuff you want to play from your deck at the bottom of the deck.
Or Baby, because Baby lets you play from the bottom, right?
And yeah, so you have a lot of stuff you can do with this unison. And then for +1, you can choose 1 of your blue battle cards in hand with cost of 1 and play it, which can be amazing, because you are essentially getting 1 energy for free. Off the top of my head is going to be a kind boy, a kind Saiyan Goku. So you
Yeah,
can search top 7 for a Son Goku.
that's a
You
really
have
good shout.
Gowasu in top 3, you can search for a god. There
Yeah,
is
basically your
lot of
searches,
one
right?
drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Majin Buu from set 1.
Oh, but we have another one in this set as well.
Yeah,
We have
it's
the
a Vegeta.
Vegeta. Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, there's lots of one drops. We have one drop, blue one drops that the Self Awakeners. If you can drop that for free, Pan,
yeah.
the
Because
Self
she'll
Awakening
proc
Pan.
off the she'll set the auto off as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You
If
know,
you
yeah,
don't
you
do
could
Self
play.
Awaken, you can just +1 play
Yeah.
her at the end of a turn. She goes back to hand.
So you're +2 for just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So cool, super rare there. Our second unison is Majin Buu, Dimensional Intervention. It's another 2 specified cost blue. Activate main of a +0 here. It's play up to 1 blue skillless card from your drop area with an energy cost less than or equal to your current energy. I want to get your thoughts on this straight away because I think it's kind of nuts.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
Because you pay 0 energy for 30k beta, let's
Yep.
be honest.
Yep. And then obviously you've got activate main -2. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignore a barrier, return it to its owner's hand. Again, another silly good effect on this card.
Yeah, there is a reason why this
Doesn't
unison doesn't
plus.
have any plus.
Yeah.
No, I agree, but this is a unison that you wouldn't mind dropping later on for more energy and still be happy because you keep on getting those beaters.
Yeah.
Even if you play it, if you're on 3 energy, you play it for 2 and then you just get Nemba. Free drop 30k, right?
Yeah, like ideally, right? Turn 4, you're dropping a boonie, you've got your tokens or whatever. You pass turn, they swing at you. You hatch secret rare. Turn 5 comes around. I'll put 3 into Majin Buu. Hello.
But that's the thing, you don't need to put 3 into him to play a free drop from drop area. You can make this a 2 in energy, 15k and 30k on board.
That's true. Yeah.
This is scary, and if we're going to get bigger skillless sometime in the future, this card will just get better.
Yeah, like the day we get a 4 drop 40k skill, it's just like, hey,
I think 4 drop would be 35k. I don't think they would cross
secret
that
level.
40k. Yeah, I don't think they would cross that.
Yeah, they've kind of been good with that, but it would also be kind of hilarious to have 40k skills. Yeah, next up we got Son Goku Heavy Hitter. You can read this mouthful of a card.
This is a 1 drop 10k, but cannot be played from any area except by skills. It has barrier, so difficult to remove. Activate main. If your leader card is a blue pikkon card and you discard this card from your hand, you look at the top 3 cards from the top of your deck, you add Mono Blue Saiyan or West Galaxy Warrior with cost 5 or less to your hand. You return the other 2 cards to the top of your deck in any order, and then you place this card from your drop area on top of your deck, and you can't activate the skills of this card for the rest of the turn, because otherwise, if you've seen 2 of those, you could create an infinite loop.
Yeah.
Um,
Consistency is good.
It always puts itself on top. It doesn't cost energy to check that, and you can easily find something that had burst 1 if it's a Goku do something.
Yeah.
So you can find whatever piece you need. You can find anything with cost 5 or less. They need to be mono blue though, which is nice.
Yeah. I think they're very much intended on keeping
I think there
Pikkon
is
mono blue, right?
the same for Vegeta, right?
It's a very similar
Yes.
effect, if not the same effect, yeah.
It's the same, it just doesn't have barrier, it's blocker, but we're going to get to that later.
We have Son Goku Fusion Synergy! Our first take a life, get critical for blue. It only took us 12 sets, it's fine. We're here.
And blue was the last one to get
Double strike as well.
Self Awakeners altogether.
Pan was World Marshal. Was it? I feel like Krillin was. I feel like Krillin was set
Krillin
6.
was late?
Yeah, Krillin was set 6 for yellow. Was there a yellow double strike that I'm forgetting?
Maybe. I know there is now. But I think that came out in Baby, the yellow baby starter.
Yeah, so I think it was Krillin that was the last one.
But
But
let's be honest,
still, yeah.
Pan was very weird for Self Awakener.
Yeah, Panzer bounced back to hand, whereas everyone else was getting criticals and double strikes.
Yeah, green was the one that got the critical. Red had double strike. I think they were trying for every color to have something else,
Yeah.
and then they worked out that the red and then green, respectively,
Were just really good.
Oh, yeah, and they just gave. I think green has now 2 double strikers though,
Yeah.
because there's the Doria and the one from Draft Box 5.
Yeah, the Rabana, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's fine. Like, it's just one of those things. It's good to see. Kind of has some parity between all the I was gonna say classes. Then, yes, these are classes, not colors.
You're classist.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we can both agree it's a cool addition to Blue. It finally gets on the.
One thing I'm going to point out here is that the deck is Gogeta based, which means it's Union Fusion, not Potara.
Yeah, so same power, right?
So they need to have the same power, whereas the one-drop Goku we have just seen, the one that checks the top, is 10k. This one is 5k.
Yeah, but you
so
combine it with a double strike.
They're not very compatible materials.
No, but you combine it with a double strike Frieza. Vegeta. They're both 5k.
Yeah. Yeah, but you want to be playing 4 of the heavy hitter, right? It's just weird that they wouldn't do the same thing as Gogeta VR did when they
kept it all parity as 10k, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Next up, Great Saiyan Man, Punisher Evil. A lot of hype behind this card.
The card is decent. It's just it's not the era for it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good summary of it.
It's a 3-drop specified 3 blue Saiyan Earthling with Deflect, Barrier, Blocker, Revenge. And once per turn, an auto, when this card KOs an opponent's battle card, switch this card and up to 1 of your mono blue energy to active mode.
I don't.
The thing is, to get most value out of this, it needs to survive. Being 15k, it's actually difficult to make it survive.
Yeah, most beat sticks at this point are at 20 quid, or you're gonna have to combo it into some you have to lose cards
Even
to
on the
protect
leader
it.
attack, you will need to, if the leader is awakened, you will need to combo 1 out to.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't think that's very worth it, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cool concept. I would absolutely love this card in the cube.
Oh yeah.
So that's a shout out to Jamie Wolf and Scrap Games, because they
do
are working
cubes,
on the cube.
lots of cubes.
Yeah. So I think this is a brilliant addition for blue in a cube. But I don't think, because we don't have Shugesh, there is no way to cheat it out.
God, could you imagine Shugesh in this?
A Child's Wish.
Yeah.
Right? It would be a Child's Wish target as well, and it would be better. I don't think at this point it is that good.
No, unfortunately not. Sun Goten battling the evil forces, or the forces of evil, as the card is correctly called. It's a super combo. It's a you're at 4 or last life, draw a card, and it's built in 10k. It's a Goten. What more do you want from it? Vegeta Sentinel from Hell. Pierre, take it away.
It's exactly the same as Heavy Hitter. So you discard this card from your hand, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add Mono Blue Saiyan, West Galaxy Warrior with cost 5 or less. Then you put the rest of the cards you looked at the top of your deck and discard on top.
Yeah.
This one is a 1-drop blocker and also can only be played with skills. So you can't hardcast it as a 1-drop 10k.
No.
Because I think that's the skillless, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then you got Vegeta Fusion Synergy!
You mean Majin Buu?
I do mean Majin Buu.
Well, yeah, this is a Vegeta. When you play, you draw 1 card. It can be used for a fusion for Gogeta. I think that's about that.
Yeah.
I think the best use of this card is going to be in the set 2 Vegeta leader.
Yeah, more than likely. It's just a cheap get out a card that can fuse with Goku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cheap something you can bring out, and then you can easily go into Potara, right?
I mean, it replaces itself, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. No, there is lots of use for this card, I guess. But again, we are in the part of the game where I remember when this type of a skill was busted.
I know, right? Majin Buu was pushing £10.
Everyone, £5 was Majin Buu.
Was it? Oh, I thought.
Yeah, Senzu was 10-15.
That's probably about right.
Yeah. And every single deck was splashing blue to play 4 Majin Buus, 4 Objections, and 4 Senzu.
Yeah.
Every single deck was playing those 12 cards. Doesn't matter what colors you were in, you were always playing blue.
Long gone are the days of upstart Goku.
Yeah.
So yeah, Trunks battling for the forces of evil. The forces of evil, not for. He's not evil. Yeah, so this is the Rejuvenate super combo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's a decent skill, as we said. The Rejuvenate got a lot of support, and I like to see that. In our tests, I've actually seen the downside of those super combos, which is more often than not, your opponent's going to target your Rejuvenate unison, and then you can't use those super combos in it. So they actually have a downside, and I like it. They're more offensive than defensive. And yeah, they're alright. In the worst case, they're still printed 10k power. So I'm happy that they did that.
Yeah. Now we're... Whoo boy! Gogeta 7 got an upgrade.
I think you meant Cell finally perfected himself to be a Gogeta.
Yeah, both of those are valid. So finally, we have a card that the Super Saiyan 3 Secret Rare can be used with again. So that's a good thing to note. But yeah, run us through this effect, Peter.
Okay, so it's an 8-drop with specified cost 4, 30,000 power. 1 cost 10k combo, Gogeta, Mono Blue Saiyan. Double strike dual attack, so keywords. X evolve, you can pay 2 blue to evolve on top of a blue Gogeta with energy cost of 5 exactly, which brings to mind the starter deck Gogeta. When you play it, you spin 2 cards to the bottom of your opponent's deck and draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
This would be really good with that. Auto once per turn if your leader card is mono blue. When this card is played, or if your opponent activates a battle card skill, you choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and return them to their owner's hands. It needs to be on the first battle card skill activation. And I'm just going to remind people that there is a ruling that says that battle card skill is considered only when battle card is on board. So for example, if you have Heavy Hitter in hand, so the Goku that we have just seen, it activates in hand, it never ends up on board, so that skill is never activated from hand, so it would not trigger this activation.
Yeah.
And so your opponent needs to have something on board, but if they play something with barrier, this doesn't do anything to that, because it doesn't go around barrier. And then the skill I have an issue with is, if your leader card is mono blue, and you have 6 of your cards in your hand, at the end of your opponent's turn, they choose 3 cards in their hand and place the rest at the bottom of their deck in any order. So this essentially is going to sell your opponent at the end of every turn, at the end of their turn. Issue I have with this is not because the card is strong. The card is not strong. Don't get me wrong. It's you need to remove it on the spot, and you or me, if you play the game, you know how to do it.
Of course.
You know how to play around it. If you played since set 2, you probably still remember how to play around Cell, because there are ways to play around Cell, and you can do it the same around Gogeta. The problem is the new players. I think that this deck looks like a really fun deck for someone who's really experienced with the game, and it's just going to be gimmicky, and more often than not, it's not going to work on the tournament. But then you're going to keep on losing against good players, and you're going to end up being paired against a new player. And the new player will not know how to deal with this, and it can be disheartening when you tell them at the end of their every turn that they need to discard down to 3.
Yeah.
It's not in green, so you can't ditch their hand further, but you can still use the super combos 18, which is going to still get rid of at least a few more cards from their hand.
Yeah.
Which might be the issue here, because it only checks that your leader is mono blue. It doesn't check that your energy is mono blue.
Nope.
And that might be the issue.
Yeah, I think that's a
that's my rant done.
No, I think that's a really valid criticism. Gogeta 7 was very impressive of a card. Cell, if you, like you said, if you didn't know how to play around it, was a very impressive card. So this does have that potential, but I feel like you said, it is going to be more towards new players and people who have been playing this game for a while and can kind of figure out how to get around that.
Yeah, if you played the game for a while, the card is not an issue.
Exactly. I mean, it's peaks and valleys, right? Like, yeah, I mean, I'm just happy we've got a card that a secret rare can be used with now. Like, that's my main takeaway from this card is, I can use a card that no one really cared about before. Next up, we have the card that also enables Gogeta 8, which is weird to say. I'm so used to Gogeta 7. Gogeta the Demon Destroyer! He is a 5 cost, so obviously he's an X-Evolve target, but that's, X-Evolving was so last year. You have a unique barrier dual attacker. Activate main with by paying 3 blue energy if your leader card is a blue pikkon, and you place 1 blue Son Goku and 1 blue Vegeta cards with the energy cost of 1 from your deck in the drop area, and you shuffle your deck, play this card from hand. Note they don't have to be the same power.
And note that you're ditching them from your deck as a cost.
Yeah.
To activate the skill.
Yeah. Yeah.
The card is outside the range of usual counterplay, so has more than 20,000 power and costs more than 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a Union Fusion from your deck.
Yeah.
This is essentially what it is. They don't need to have the same power. They just need to have a cost of 1.
I mean, this kind of pairs really well in tandem with those new super combos from set 11, because you can easily know that you're going to put your 1-drops back in the deck to draw 2, and then...
you have Heavy Hitter and then the other Vegeta that put themselves back into the deck.
Well, there's that as well. There's that as well. Yeah, so there's lots of options there. Lots of options. But then his creme de la creme effect, I guess we can say. Activate main once per turn, burst 1, pay 1 blue. If your leader card is a blue pikkon and you have 4 or more energy, if the card placed in your drop area with this skill was a blue Gogeta with an energy cost of 8, play it on top of this card.
This is very specific, because leader lets you look at the top 3, but nothing lets you cycle cards from the top of your deck. So, how to say it? The Tournament of Power Arena lets you look at the top 3, and you either leave all 3 on top or put all 3 at the bottom. So, if you don't see Gogeta there, you're like, okay, I'm fishing for Gogeta, everything goes to the bottom.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Here, you don't have this option. If you don't see Gogeta there, you're sitting there and like, so what now?
Yeah, I get your point.
Because you have no way of spinning those cards. You don't really have a way of drawing those cards either. You need to spend a lot of energy to draw those cards. The best way to spin cards is the freeze and sell, which you draw a card and put a card from your hand at the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
The other thing is you need to have 4 energy. I think that might prove problematic.
Same. I mean, it needs to happen, right? It stops Gogeta 8 being abused via that effect. I mean, you can still X-Evolve on top of him, for 2,
It's an interesting mechanic. I think it's missing that cycling bit. I think that's... You're going to find yourself, for example, finding only Son Gokus from the top of your deck.
Yeah, yeah.
And you need to wait at least 2 turns before you can cycle through that.
Do you know what that sounds like, Peter? Sounds like an excuse. Veku making an excuse is also in this set. A 3-drop, 1 specified blue, unique blocker. It cannot be KO'd by battle. It has an activate main, burst 3. If your leader is Pikkon, if you played at least 1 blue Son Goku card and 1 Vegeta... Oh, if you placed, not if you played.
Yeah.
My bad. 1 blue Son Goku and 1 blue Vegeta card in your drop area with his skill. Play this card from your hand if you didn't discard it.
So you can play this for free if you look at the top 3 and you know that on the top 3 you have 1 Goku, 1 Vegeta, so Heavy Hitter can set it up easily. You will lose 1 other card with it, which might be problematic.
Could be, yeah. Could be the card you need and then you're like, oh no.
But at least this card is not like the Zamasu, which had this card can't be switched to active mode.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a blocker that can't be killed by battle. It can be removed by skills.
Yeah.
Which is not an issue. You free played him. Well, you milled free, but you free played him.
Yeah. It's there to take a hit, right?
In the worst case, you can just mill out the cards that you don't need on the top of your deck.
Yeah, deck thinning is deck winning, right?
Well, if you draw the cards, yes. If you lose the cards...
I don't know. I mean, there's no blue pay X and pay from the drop is there yet. So
No,
the
but we
pay.
have the golden ape that lets you reshuffle some battle cards and draw a card,
Oh yeah.
which never seen any play.
No. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you would include that. You probably wouldn't. But yeah, so Veku's cool. I mean, if nothing else, we get more Veku, and that's always nice to see. Peter, I'll let you take this one.
Gotenks battling the forces of evil, or another face of Obuni.
Fair.
Let's be honest, it's going to be competing for a good spot with Obuni.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing.
Yeah, it's 4-drop 20k with deflect, barrier, and double strike. So you can't interact with it pretty much. You need to kill it in battle. And auto once per turn, if your opponent activates a counter skill during a battle with this card, you choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, return them to their owner's hands, and then you switch up to 2 of your mono blue energy to active mode. There is a lot that can be done with this card. Off the top of my head, we have a new Mecha Frieza leader, and I'm going to be treating it how it's written, not how they rule it. At the moment, at least.
Yeah.
So you can turn one Planet Vegeta. You can search this because this is a Saiyan with cost 4 or less.
Yeah, I mean that's a really solid effect. I like it.
It's a very good protection. It doesn't have unique, which is interesting.
Yeah, you feel like they would after Rabuni, but I get maybe that's it. Maybe they're like, no, 4k, 4-drop 20k is our balance. We don't need to make them uniques.
Yeah, that's the thing. It can be killed in battle, and your opponent needs to activate a counter when this card battles.
Yeah, it's not just when you're. I mean, if it was when you activate a counter, geez, it would be nuts. But yeah, I think it's quite balanced.
Yeah, I think it's alright. I think it's going to be a very powerful finisher when you're down to 2 life.
Do you know what it reminds me of? And I've only just realised now that you've said it like that. God Breaks and Goku from back in set 1.
Yeah.
I think it's a real nice homage to that.
Yeah, it's a very, very similar thing.
Yeah.
Although this one is way cheaper.
Oh yeah. I mean, this one's playable.
Well, Godbreak was playable. Just didn't do anything.
Fair point. We've got Pikkon stalling for time. A free cost, free specified blue blocker. Worst Galaxy Warrior! If your leader card is Blue Pikkon and you don't have a Gogeta card in play, when one of your cards is returned from your hand from your battle area...
to your hand from your battle area.
Play this card from your hand. You can't play copies of this card for the turn. If you have 3 or more energy, when this card is removed from a battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, it's important that it's by an opponent's skill.
Yeah, you can't bounce it and trigger it yourself.
Yeah. Activate this skill. At the end of your next phase, you may pay 2 blue energy. If you do, choose up to 1 blue Gogeta card in your hand with an energy cost of 5 and play it.
Okay, let's go bit by bit. So it's
Okay.
a blocker. It's a free play blocker, which is useful. It's not unique. Yeah, it only checks if you don't have a Gogeta card in play.
Yeah.
So you can have multiple of those being played. Not in one turn, obviously. But you can have multiple of those being played. And on top of that, when this card is bounced to your hand, you can just reveal it from hand and play it again.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
It's cool. I think it's like I said. The deck's going to be a bit quirky. It's a bit gimmicky. And I feel like, I mean, it could be good. Like there are really good and strong elements to it.
The second auto, if you have 3 or more energy, so when this card is removed from your battle area by opponent's skill or KO'd, you activate the skill. So you can block it. It's going to get KO'd by battle.
Yeah.
At the start of your next main phase, so you don't need to have 2 energy available immediately. You need to have 3 energy when this card is KO'd.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of your main phase, so after you charge, you pay 2 blue. So it's after you switch all your cards to active mode.
Yeah.
So you can play the blue Gogeta with cost of 5 for 2 energy. And I think I would rather than the new Gogeta we have seen, I would play the Gogeta that draws 2 cards and spins 2 cards.
Yeah. The start deck one, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
The fact that you can do that, it suddenly makes it just better. I wish this was playable in other leaders, but sadly it needs to be Blue Pikkon.
And
Because I
not for
think
the
this would
3 or
be...
more effect, though. Only the first effect.
Yeah, but you would want to free play this. If you spend 3 energy on this, you
Oh, yeah.
spend 5 energy on the Gogeta. What's the point?
Yeah, no, that's... Yeah. I get that. Yeah, I dig it. I'm vibing with it.
But
Then we have...
because your leader mostly bounces back Paikuhan, so I think it's worth looking at the other 2 Paikuhans, which are 1-drops.
Yeah, so we got Flawless Technique Pikkon, again a West Galaxy Warrior, 1-drop, 1 special blue, 0-5k combo, 4k power. If your leader card is Pikkon, a blue Pikkon, when this card is played, draw 1 card, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then choose 1 card in your hand and place it on top of your deck.
So, from the top of my head, I don't like this.
Okay.
Because it does exactly the same thing as all that. It lets you kind of fix your top deck because you can put any card from your hand on the top of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
But to even get a replacement on this card, when you play the card, a Majin Buu effect, you need to take a life.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it's just draw 1 and put 1 back.
Yeah.
You don't get even the replacement.
You.
But he makes up for that with his auto, actually.
Okay.
Burst 1, if your leader card is a blue Paikuhan, when this card is removed from your battle area by a skill, doesn't need to be opponent's skill, so your leader's skill will work as well. If the card you placed in the drop area with this skill was either a blue Son Goku or Vegeta, with cost of 1, you may play it with its skills negated for the turn. So you can play those guys with which can only be played by skill. Which you can put on top of the deck yourself.
Yeah.
They have skills negated, but their skills is blocker and barrier, so it doesn't really matter. I guess barrier would be a bit annoying.
I mean, it's mainly to get around the playing them without... Oh, no, because you'd still be able to play them with skill. Yeah, it's a skill, shush. Shush, Scott. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they need to be played with a skill.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It kind of makes up for it, but I don't think this is enough. It's definitely a good card to bounce back to your hand, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you get to the Storm matchup, this card's great.
Yeah.
Pikkon supporting his comrades! Another West Galaxy Warrior, 1-drops, 1 specified blue, 4k power. When this card is played, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Add 1 mono blue card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards on top or bottom of your deck in any order. Can't play copies of this card for the turn. Also, best one, if your leader card is a blue Pikkon card, when this card is removed from your battle area by skill, again, it doesn't have to be your opponent's. If the card you placed in the drop area with this skill was a blue Son Goku or Vegeta with an energy cost of 1, you may play for the turn.
So do you know this is exactly the same as the other 1-drop, but I think this 1-drop is way better.
Yeah.
Because this one actually lets you fix the top of your deck.
100%.
And it actually replaces itself without dealing damage to you.
Yeah, I love this one. This one's great. I
would probably play the ones that self-awaken you because, well, sometimes you want to self-awaken, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's more of the same, right? It's more of the same.
Yeah. But I think this one would be 4 off, the self-awakener would be 2 off. Because you will keep on bouncing them back to your hand.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you go in there, you're proccing the effect, you're getting it bounced back, yeah. No.
You only want to see one. The talk of the town, Janemba bewitching blow.
Why did you go pirate with it? There'll be a Ember. There'll be a storm coming. It would be pirates in it. We have a pirate character. This bird's like, but I'm Janemba.
I don't keep track of my own accent. Sorry.
Take us through it, Peter. Take us through it.
It's a 3-drop specified, 3 blue, 19,000 power, 0 cost, 5k combo, critical dual attack. At the end of your turn, you send this card to its owner's warp. Which is, well, it's a free play card. It reminds of the King Piccolo from Draftbox, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Activate main if you have 3 or more energy and you choose one of your blue skillless battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or 3 and return it to its owner's hand. Play this card from your hand. and you can't activate the activate main skill of copies of this card for the turn.
Do you want to take the main thing here, or am I taking the main thing here?
It's not tied to any leader.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
You just need to have 3 or more energy, but just being able to free play a dual attack critical that then can upgrade. We're going to go through that as well.
Yeah.
But then it can upgrade to even more disgusting critical attackers. In any leader, I have seen Shenron leader using this.
Ooh.
Because you go into the biggest one, you attack once, it restands because there's dual attack. Then you give it triple attack and it has 3 more attacks.
That's really
and
cool.
You can assemble the squad into either the skill-less or the 2-drop Evil Incarnate, the baby Nemba.
Mm.
And that's essentially how you play the deck. On turn 3, you just go assemble the squad.
Yeah, actually, that's a really cool strat. I like that a lot, actually.
GG. And then you have Kitku.
Yeah.
That can do that as well.
I mean, we'll break it down a lot more in our deep dive video.
We're going to go in depth because this card requires a proper deep dive. But yeah, this is one of the chase cards.
It's super good. Like, yeah, I mean, to be fair, throughout the Unison Warrior series, right, some of the super rares have actually been worthy of being called super rares again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not going to go out. Hello, baby Unison from set 11. How are you doing? Are you still less than €1? And then you got 30k blue skillless janemba there. You know, it's good to be skillless.
I mean, you can play it for free from your drops. So
yeah, that's true. You got a 2-drop janemba skillless there again.
Yeah.
It has some interactions, but it's also just another skillless.
I mean, you can
card.
play it with a leader for free, right?
Yeah, like it's good. Like more skillless is never a bad thing. Janemba Enchanted Transformation. So this is a 2-drop, so you can free play it with your leader. 1 specified blue, Evil Incarnate. It's a critical, which is, you know, that's oh boy, a turn 1 critical. And then
it's a 2-drop 10k critical, right? But you can play it for 1. On turn 1 for free.
Yeah, right. Okay, bear with me. Some tin pot hat here, right? So turn 1, you're on the swing first, right? I charge my energy. I play this boy. I swing at my opponent. I tap my energy. I double strike them.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
There is worse that you can do if you went first, because then you can swing with your leader, play this, and then activate this card's activate main.
Yeah, that's true. So run us through the activate main.
Activate main, you pay 2 blue, place this card in its owner's drop area, from battle area, of course. You play up to 1 skillless Evil Incarnate card with cost 3 or less in your deck, then shuffle your deck.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs to specifically play from the deck, which sometimes can be problematic, so you need to max out on your skillless.
I bet, but you mean you got how many have you got? It's
8.
Oh yeah, because it's less. Yeah. So yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the card you would pull out with Assemble the Squad, right? Imagine turn 3, before you even spend any of your energy, you assemble the squad into this guy.
Yeah.
Then you swing. Then you activate main. You play your skillless. You swing with your 30k skillless. Then you bounce that skillless to your hand to play the 3-drop dual attack crit. You attack twice with that.
Yeah. It's a pretty nutty combo. Like I like it a lot. What else I like is this Psyche Demon. Oh boy.
Remake of Psyche Demon.
So cool. Also, that's going to look amazing in foil. I can't wait for it. Activate main. Place this card in its owner's drop area. Choose 1, draw a card. Activate up to 1 soul cleansing machine from your deck, then shuffle your deck. Oh my god, why have we not got more of this type of card in the game?
That's the thing. They did the same with BBD in the last set, where you could activate the Majin Quickening, I think it was, for green Vegeta. But just Majin Quickening was not good. Soul Cleansing is way better.
In fact, we'll skip to soul cleansing now just to reference what it does. So it's a field.
To understand how what the
Psyche Demon It's so the whole point of that Psyche Demon existing is for this. So soul cleansing machine field. It's a 1-drop specified, but obviously you pay that with Psyche Demon. If your leader card
you essentially play 8 of those to be able to get.
One. If your leader card is an Evil Incarnate, when one of your Evil Incarnate or Demon cards is played, place the top card of your deck underneath this card, so it's self-mill. Activate main if there are 4 or more cards under this card, and you place this card in its earnest drop area. Play up to 1 blue Skillless Evil Incarnate with an energy cost of 3 or less from your deck or drop area. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it.
Yeah.
That's so good.
The thing is that if you get this turn 1, then you get the OG Psyche Demon, then the new Psyche Demon turn 2. That's already 2 cards underneath this.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's real powerful. Not to mention
it works
you can get
very
it from
well
drop.
with old and new.
Yeah.
Nemba, beside the mill Nemba, of course.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it a lot.
Because the old Nemba, the crit Nemba, required sparking.
Mm-hmm.
And this can provide you sparking very easily.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not that difficult. After you use the first one, you just play another one.
Yeah.
Because you will keep on dropping cards. Because it just checking evil incarnates, doesn't check for the cost or anything like that. So if you can drop it mid your combo again, as you keep on upgrading them with the star balls, this is going to be big.
Yeah. So then we have a Janemba, Rampaging Demon. So this is the powered up version of Janemba from Dragon Ball Heroes, who looks dope. I hope we see more of him. So he is an X-Evolved Janemba Xeno with 4, but he has critical and dual attack, so keeping that crit theme there strong. And when a card evolves into this card, draw 2 cards and switch it to active mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's
a lot.
Lots of swings that are being had here. So let's go back to assemble the squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
You assemble the squad, you get the 2 drop, you attack for crit, then you get a 3 drop, you attack for 30, then you get the crit dual attack, you have 2 more attacks, that's 4. Then you go into the ball, which is 1 more attack, then you go into this, which is 2 more attacks, that's 7 attacks, 6 of which were crit.
Yeah? Yeah, because one of them was...
Skillless.
Skillless, yeah.
And all of that on free energy.
Which they're bound to have taken, by the way. Like, they would probably have taken that skillless hit just to get a card back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like... Yeah, what more can we say other than this is really good, it's really strong, and it doesn't clog your hand because it's a 0-5k combo.
Yeah, which is important thing. And also, when you evolve into it, it restands and draws you 2 cards.
Yeah. All of the punch.
Yeah, all the card advantage.
Then we have Janemba Dark Parasites, so the evolution target for this boy, the bad boy we just talked about. This one has critical. If your opponent has 2 or more energy, when this card attacks your opponent, may choose one of their battle cards and warp it. If they didn't, draw 1 card and switch up to 1 of your blue energy to active mode. Wow.
So you can get additional energy for extender.
Yep. But
if
also,
doesn't have battle
I was going to say, if they don't have a battle card, they're in for a bad time.
If all of their battle cards have barrier, then they can't choose the battle card.
It's like, haha, Barry, you can't remove my stuff. Good, I don't want you to. And then obviously the 5-star Parasitic Ball. Gains Dark Dragon Ball in Aura. Gains Dark Dragon Ball in all areas. You can combo it for 5k power. And then if you have 2 or more energy and you choose 1 mono blue Janemba with an energy cost of 3, so you can put it underneath the skillless. Play up to 1 Janemba 0.
Or the one that would be normally warped.
Or the one that would be normally warped. Play up to 1 Janemba Xeno card with an energy cost of 4 from your deck or hand on top of the chosen card in active mode. So again, that's why you swing with a skillless. Yeah, it's powerful, man.
You swing with the skillless, bounce the skillless to your hand, then you play the dual attack critical from your hand for free, you swing twice, you use ball on that, you play the 4-drop in active, you attack with that, you either get energy back or you don't, you get rid of the battle card, then you evolve into a 6-drop and you have 2 more swings.
Yep.
This is a scary combo. I will just point out that up to this day, there's only 1 Dragon Ball that doesn't play the Xeno character on top of the card how it should.
And
there's also the Dark Broly one, but that one works a bit different.
That's special.
That one sacrifices the Broly to play the Dark Broly.
Yeah.
This one works how it should, but there is the one for Cell that people are now noticing that it doesn't do that.
It only took them 2 sets.
I was being laughed at when I mentioned that.
I know, right? They were like, "Oh no, you're wrong." And it's like, no, he's right. So yeah, now we have West Galaxy Revival or Intersecting Fates, but better.
0.20.
Yeah, take it away.
So it's a 1-drop for 1 blue. Activate main. If your leader card is blue pikkon, you draw 2 cards. Then you choose 1 card from your hand and place it on top of your deck. And this one I like because you draw those cards and then you can put any card from your hand on top of your deck.
Yeah.
So it will always replace itself like Intersecting Fates, and it will help you stack the top of your deck. Then you switch up to 1 of your mono blue energy to active mode. So after that you can do Intersecting Fates, which only switches at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
But you cannot activate the activate main skills on copies of this card for the turn. And that includes the second skill because both of them are activate main. So if you activate it from hand, you can't activate the one from the drop area.
Yeah.
If you activate the one from the drop area, you can't activate the one from hand.
Yeah,
I like
really
this balancing.
smart. Yeah, really smart.
If your leader card is a blue Paikuhan leader and you choose 1 of your blue unisons with Rejuvenate and send this card from drop to warp, you place the top card of your deck under the chosen unison card and you can't activate the activate main. That's a way of thinning your deck and getting rid of the cards you don't want on top of your deck under the unison. I don't think that skill is going to be that often used. I think it's mostly going to be used paired up with Intersecting Fates, right?
Yeah, same. I like if this and Intersecting are in your hand turn 1, oof.
Yeah, it's good. The problem is you don't create any card in any board presence, so
No.
you might be looking into playing the 1-drop Pikkon if you can on turn 1. But yeah, this one only checks your leader, but it taps mono blue energy, but it lets you draw 2 cards, just flat out draw 2 cards, and then choose something from hand and put it on top.
Yeah.
It doesn't check if it's mono blue. You don't give your opponent that information that the leader does, because your leader gives your opponent information, which is problematic.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for blue graded. So Peter, what's your grade?
This is a very interesting question. There is a big power swing with Janemba, but I don't feel like that Janemba is too problematic because it doesn't launch like Piccolo, which can launch. King Piccolo can launch 9-10 attacks on turn 3 from empty board. Right, Scott?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, the video's going up soon, so yeah. Actually, no, the video will be out by the time this video's out, so yeah. Go back and watch that.
I don't think Janemba is that much of an issue here. I think it's a very interesting touch on Janemba, and here they actually wove in that Dark Dragon Ball properly into Janemba theme.
Yeah.
So the only other deck that did that was the Dark Broly.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think
maybe Buu.
I think Buu works quite well in terms of.
Buu didn't work though.
Yeah, I was going to say Buu itself didn't work, but Buu...
everyone was cutting Buu from the deck because the only deck which could play that was the green Vegeta, and everyone was cutting it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there was no point.
Yeah.
So Buu didn't intersect well. Frieza didn't intersect well. Cell didn't intersect well. What was the other one that I'm missing?
Tails?
Oh yeah, there was the Dark Broly that worked well. Janemba that works well. We don't know about the green ones yet.
Yeah, so Tails and Slugger up in the air, yeah.
So that's going to be next week. And we're going to see how it works. But yeah, I think Janemba works. I think it's well connected. I think Paikuhan works. And not happy about the Gogeta, but it's all very solid.
Yeah.
It's very interesting gameplay, but it is missing a few things to make it actually playable, in my opinion. It's going to be nice, gimmicky, but not being able to consistently spin the top of your deck is going to be problematic.
Okay. I think that's fair.
So I think I would stay at A.
Okay.
It's a good job. It's not a superb job, but it's awesome. I like it.
I think I'm going to be a bit more kinder than you. I'm going to go and push it to an A+, because I do really like what they've done here. Essentially at that point we're arguing semantics. I just think personally it adds a little bit more to the game. I think that and bringing back being able to use a secret rare, one of the more expensive boss monsters, you know what I mean? Like,
which was never good.
No, it wasn't, but I'm saying now it's playable again. Like, I kind of have to
I think it would be way better because the deck bursts a lot and wants to play lots of Gokus and Vegetas, and that guy kept on putting Gokus and Vegetas back into your deck.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, overall A+ for me. I think Yeah, like nothing screams broken here. Strong, yes, and we're not discrediting that, and we're gonna do a deep dive on Vegeta. Not Vegeta, janemba. Yep, totally the same character there, Scott. I don't know where my brain. I'm gonna stop talking. Yeah, I'm an A plus. I think it just falls short slightly from that.
Yeah,
from
when
the
I've
S
seen
slot.
it initially, I thought that I might be giving it S, but the more cards we've seen, they haven't delivered on the initial.
I think it. You know what? It genuinely is. Like, I know they've gone for the Gogeta boss monster with pikkon, but I feel like they've done pikkon a bit dirty. Like, there's no super rare pikkon. Oh, I mean, technically there is, but it's not blue. You know what I mean? Like, and he's just the support for Gogeta, which I get if you're going for that theme. But like, pikkon's one of Goku's strongest fights in the anime. Like, that fight is epic.
Isn't the pikkon in tournament pack though?
Is there a pikkon in the tournament pack? I'm not sure.
I think so.
Well, we'll find out when we reveal
it's
them.
all blurred, so we'll find out. Hopefully this year.
Yeah, before Christmas, fingers crossed, it'll be a Christmas present. Yeah, but overall, sorry, A plus from me and an A from Peter. I think that's a very fair grade. We have red and black already up, and we will be covering yellow next for graded, and then obviously green, and then the full set. Right? I don't think we're gonna do anything.
After that is the secrets TP secrets and allocated promos, right?
Yeah, but we just bundle that into the full set. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. We have just launched a new series on the channel, Know Your Heroes, where I go over all of the Dragon Ball Heroes cards. I'm not grading them because I can't read Japanese. So, like, if you want to know where some of the art for comes from, in fact, I don't know which set it was because I recorded like a bulk of those videos. But if you want to know where this pikkon art comes from, watch that series because you'll find out. Yeah, and that's a really fun deep
And the other new series we're doing is Untapped Potential, right?
Yes, we are. Some gameplay in which Peter kicks my ass.
Come on, the launch.
Actually, to be fair, right, if you ever want to see someone go from being dejected and not liking a deck to absolutely falling in love with it, there's 2 hours of launch gameplay coming. That is, yeah. It was a really fun time by the end of it. I started off hating that deck and I was completely wrong by the end of it. I love launch now. So yeah, I think that's it, Peter. Have we got anything else to plug shamelessly apart from subscribe and like this video?
Yeah, exactly. Like and subscribe and let us know down in the comments. What do you think about Blue? Where do you stand on it? And what would you like to see of it?
Yeah, what would you grade it? Yeah. Cool. That's all, folks. That's Bugs Bunny. I'll see you next time. No, that's Woody Woodpecker. Wow, we're out. We're good.